Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. For the most part, videos on this channel are sponsored by my wonderful patrons. They request I design a deck for them, and then I make a video explaining the deck. I cap this patron tier every month because there are only so many days in the month, but this means I usually have 1 or 2 days every month where I can work on a personal project. Maybe a new card caught my eye, like today's video. If you're enjoying my content, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate the support, and if you like the deck list, consider sharing this video as well. Lilah, Undefeated Slickshot is a 3-mana 3/3 legendary human rogue with prowess. Whenever we cast a multicolored instant or sorcery spell from our hand, we exile that spell instead of putting it into our graveyard as it resolves. If we do, it becomes plotted. Plotted is a new keyword that allows us to cast spells on a future turn without paying their mana cost. However, we may only cast them as sorceries. To me, plotted means storm. We cast spells throughout the game and allow our plot to thicken. Once we have a thick enough plot, we unleash it all in a torrential climax and win the game in a single turn. The drawback, of course, being that Lilah only cares about multicolored instants and sorceries. Additionally, plotted spells can only be cast at sorcery speed, which means all those wonderful blue-red counterspells are basically useless in our deck. And any X spells that have been plotted will have a value of 0, so we won't be running any of those. Also, I promised on yesterday's video that we'd have a budget deck in the future. This is it. $100 cap, at least at the time of recording. Don't yell at me if card prices fluctuate. But before we get to our deck list, a quick word from our sponsor, Ultimate Guard. Ultimate Guard is always innovating, and recently they've unveiled their new Druidic Secrets boulders. Turn your deck box into a mystical place. These gorgeous boulders come in a variety of colors and patterns, like this dark blue one, celebrating the night and our dreams. Make sure you continue to praise the night as well as protect your dreams and your commander deck, and pick one up for yourself at your local game store. Or order one on Amazon, link down below. In order to build a functional commander deck, you need lots of different pieces, which is why I try to rely on my handy-dandy checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. One last announcement before we get into our video. In addition to streaming on Twitch, I will be dual streaming on a new YouTube channel as well. Check out Gaming with Danon if you want to catch me live. Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Training Center, Stormcarved Coast, Sulphur Falls, Thundering Falls, Volatile Fjord, Molten Tributary, Ferris Lake, Cascade Bluffs, Shivan Reef, Temple of Epiphany, Silver Bluff Bridge, Is It Guildgate, Is It Boilerworks, Prismari Campus, Saltwater Cliffs, Highland Lake, Myriad Landscape, Evolving Wilds, Terramorphic Expanse, Scavenger Grounds, 7 islands, and 6 mountains make up the land base for our deck. I know that's a lot of tap lands, but generally I'm okay with tap lands, especially in a budget build. Baral, Chief of Compliance, Goblin Electromancer, Stormkiln Artist, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Talisman of Creativity, Is It Signet, Sky Diamond, Fire Diamond, Felwar Stone, Mind Stone, Decanter of Endless Water, and Chromatic Lantern help us to ramp out and stay ahead of the curve. Arcane Infusion, Channeled Force, Cerebral Vortex, Collected Conjuring, Expressive Iteration, Invert Invent, Practical Research, Steam Augury, Thought Flare, Truth or Consequences, Teferi's Ageless Insight, Archmage Emeritus, Opt, Brainstorm, and Preordain help us to dig through our deck and keep our hands full. Beacon Bolt, Electrolyze, Fire Ice, Flame of Anor, Gandalf's Sanction, Izzet Charm, Ral's Outburst, Prophetic Bolt, Prismari Command, Roll Reversal, Slick Sequence, Commit Memory, Negate, Counterspell, Arcane Denial, and a Braid help us to keep our opponents in line. Ill-Timed Explosion and Blasphemous Act help us to reset the board as needed. Balmor, Battlemage Captain, Dika, Fractal Theorist, Magnus the Red, Poppet Stitcher, Murmuring Mystic, Talran Sky Summoner, Young Pyromancer, Chaos Mutation, Proth's Eidetic Memory, and Grape Shot make up the core of our deck, and how we plan on winning. Supporting our plan, we've got Thousand Year Storm, Corporeal Projection, Dragon Shift, Fellbeast's Shriek, Galvanic Iteration, Stitch in Time, Leyline of Anticipation, and Teach by Example. Now that we have our deck list, let's compare it to our checklist. 48 mana sources split between 35 lands and 13 pieces of ramp. A little light, but that's okay because we've also got 15 pieces of card advantage. Remember, the only thing you can cut lands for is cantrips, and only if your deck benefits from running cantrips in the first place. 16 pieces of interaction, 2 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate in Commit Memory and Scavenger Grounds, 1 sudden I win card in Chaos Mutation. Okay, so I thought it would be really fun to win this way. We get one of our creatures on board that creates tokens every time we cast a spell. We get a few tokens out there, but not enough to appear as a threat. We're a budget deck after all. Sure, we're Izzet, but we're not that scary. Ignore my long history of winning with Izzet decks. We get a few tokens out and then exile them with Chaos Mutation. We only have a few creatures in the deck, but almost all of them create tokens whenever we cast an instant or sorcery. And since Lilah has so kindly plotted a stack of spells for us to cast on a later turn, we can now use those spells to clear a path and make an entire army. But that combo takes time to set up. So the ideal opening hand for this deck is a bit of ramp, a bit of card draw, and maybe a creature that makes tokens, but that part's optional. What we want to do is get our commander out as quickly as possible and start building up a thick plot. Are you building a Lilah Undefeated Slickshot commander deck? Or did one of the other legends from Outlaws of Thunder Junction catch your eye? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. For only $25, you too can have a commander video built at your request. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Danny, Muffins, Marcus, Squishy, Brett, Roxy, Sean, Pob Zombie, Mark, Borgie, Nazwin, Pedro, Midge, Alex, Alex, Julio, Valeria, Conga, Ignis, RJ, Aaron, and Chris. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander Deck videos every weekday, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.